Before smartwatches and fitness bands were invented, there was this tiny square of magic, the iPod Nano 6th generation, a device so small, so sleek, and so ahead of its time that people wore it like a smartwatch before Apple ever made one. In today's video, I'll unbox and review this iconic device over 15 years later after its release date. But before, let's listen what Steve said about the iPod Nano.
The new iPod Nano has multi-touch, and it's really small. It's very tiny, so you can hold it in your hand like this. It's amazing, and super easy to use, and it's so small, we're able to put a clip on it too, so it's instantly wearable.
Released in September 2010, the 6th generation iPod Nano marked a dramatic redesign from its predecessors. Gone were the click wheel and long body, replaced with a tiny multi-touch screen, a clip on the back, and a brand new form factor. At just 1.5 inches across and weighing under 22 grams, it was marketed mainly as a music player for people on the move. But Apple might have accidentally laid the groundwork for the Apple Watch here. This iPod was very unusual, with its anodized aluminum casing, vivid touchscreen, and minimal physical controls, just the volume and power buttons. It felt premium and futuristic. The clip on the back made it perfect for workouts or attaching to clothes, and thanks to its size, it became a fashion statement, especially when third parties started making wristbands to turn it into a watch. Recently, I purchased a never unboxed, sealed iPod Nano 6th generation, so let's unbox it and see what's inside. I purchased my new iPod Nano 6th generation on eBay from a random seller. The guy said the iPod is brand new, never unboxed, never used, but you never know, maybe it's a scam. The box looks very good, the packaging is very solid, but I still don't know what's inside, so let's unbox it. And yes guys, it's a real, new, brand new iPod Nano 6th generation. It looks legit. It looks like the box is still sealed, so I hope this iPod was never used. The plastics are here, so there is a high chance this product is brand new. This iPod Nano 6th generation was actually the first Apple product in my life I was able to afford. I still remember the original unboxing experience. It was so unusual and so unique. I was so happy and so proud of myself being able to buy this product and unbox it and use it back in the day. And unboxing this product like 15 years later feels very emotional, but let's do it. Let's open the box. The packaging is pretty unusual because it's fully transparent, it's made of plastic, and you can see the product in the box. It's now a collector's item, that's why I decided to buy it again, because of its unique form factor, discontinued production, and you know, this Apple Watch prototype kind of vibe. It's also the smallest iPod ever. It's very light, very unique. It still has this 30-pin connector, a 3.5mm jack for your headphones. This iPod Nano 6th generation was one of the last products developed by Steve Jobs himself. Let's see what else do we got in the package. The first item in the box are some papers. You can see the manual, you know, some kind of technical specifications. That's a lot of paper for such a tiny device, and you also got a tiny Apple sticker. Actually, this is the smallest Apple sticker Apple ever made. Inside the box, Apple also gave you original Apple earbuds. They were simple, white, and instantly recognizable, and they helped make white headphones a fashion statement. Before Apple, most headphones were black or gray. The last thing in the box was this classic white charging cable. It looks a little bit old because it's the first original charging cable. It's also called a 30-pin connector. At least unboxing this product made me feel like back in the day Apple was giving us a lot for the money. Look, they gave us free earbuds, they gave us a charging cable. Nowadays it's just a charging cable, no earbuds, no additional accessories, no Apple stickers, like nothing. It's also cool to see how they've printed the actual screen image on this plastic screen protector, so you can see how it looks. I was always a huge fan of classic Apple products. Modern products are boring. I think old products are more interesting, more unique. Like back in the day when you had this thing, you were someone. It looked like it came from a sci-fi movie. And even today it looks pretty modern compared to my Apple Watch Ultra. It's also smaller than my Apple Watch Ultra. Of course, it does not have the same set of features, but you can kind of see the same DNA. This was the Apple Watch prototype, kind of, you know. Even the button looks like it's similar. I think Apple were definitely inspired by the iPod Nano 6th generation when they developed the Apple Watch. Look how many similarities these devices share. So let's power it up and see how it works. And bad news, unfortunately, after 15 years in the box, the battery is fully dead. So I'll probably have to replace the battery to be able to use this device again. Okay, let's also have a quick look on a wristband that I purchased for this iPod Nano. This is like, you know, the Apple Watch style wristband before Apple Watch were even invented. You know, nothing special, just a wristband where you can place your iPod Nano 6th generation and use it like a watch. Back in the day it was very popular. A lot of people used the iPod Nano 6th generation like a watch. These kind of devices were highly popular before the Apple Watch was released. Of course, today it looks completely awkward, but back in the day it was very futuristic, you know. Being able to listen to music right on your wrist was a nice feature. Funny fact, I was using this iPod Nano 6th generation in school for cheating. I was able to add some information on this tiny screen and cheat on my exams. Let's compare it again to my Apple Watch. It has pretty much the same size, it's also slimmer and smaller, and of course lighter than the Apple Watch. The original price of this iPod Nano 6th generation was $149, which was pretty expensive back in the day, but it was still cheaper than the price of the iPhone. Okay, let's power it up and see if it's still functioning. And yes guys, 15 years later, this iPod Nano 6th generation is still fully functioning. But unfortunately it's working only when the cable is connected. It's interesting, but this thing is not running iOS, although it looks like iOS, but it's not iOS, it's a custom version of iPod OS. It has a touch interface with big icons, but it's not an iPhone, it's an iPod. It has only 6 basic applications like settings, music, photos, iPod, stuff like that. It was very basic, very minimalist, but I love this product.
And again, I can swipe right and go through, or I can just hold down any place, whoops, not there, and get right back to the home screen. So it's very, very easy to navigate around. Let me show you some of the other screens here. So we've got, again, radio, podcasts, and photos, all the different ways of listening to music, and all the other stuff I've got here. So let me say I want to, I listen to albums a lot, and I want that on the home page. I can just push down and jiggle it and move it, just like I can with my other iOS devices. So now I have albums on the front page. And again, I can just scroll through here. Real easy. And, you know, go anywhere and play a song. Real easy to do. Thank you. Okay, let's see. The last thing I want to show you was, if we go home again, let's go to the home screen. Let's say I clip this on and I clip it on upside down. Well, I just take my 2 fingers and rotate it. Woo! And change the screen like that. So the last thing I'd like to do is just show you some photos on this. And let's go to... I know, I am upside down. Well, I live a lot of my life upside down. But anyway, you can just see what photos look like on it. They're really nice as well. Just flick between them here. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the new iPod Touch on Nano.
Before ending this video, let's have a quick look on an advertisement made by Apple for this iPod Nano.